Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, this is the world of Wayne. We've now got issue 73 of Eagle Moss's Build a Delorean. As you can see, we're in Deja Vu Street again. We're still fixing the door and making the second door. This time we're going to be attaching the innards that we did last time to the metal out frame. We're not attaching it to the big frame of the vehicle here yet, that's coming later, but just like we did in about 3 videos ago, first thing we've got to do is get some of these parts out. So look, we've got loads of parts here, and I have got the bits over from last time, which are just these bits here. So I'm going to put them to one side, because the first thing it wants is mainly the door, and this little tiny thing here, which is the, let's just tip everything out and hope it don't go everywhere. There we go. Oh, there's still stuff in there. There's still stuff in there. That's cool. We want this little tiny thing here, which is the door lock. Now, it's going to go into this hole just there. It is not really directional. It's got a... well, it can only go in one way. As you can see, it's got a semicircular sort of like thing on it. So when we put this in, you know it's going to go in, because if you keep turning it with your hand, it will fit flush to the unit just like that. That was step 1. And step 2, we're going to be fixing this with our favourite, the AP screw. So once again, they've gave us all of the screws, so I haven't got to go to my box of tricks. Just so you know, I haven't mentioned this yet, but I will mention it in the next issue. When we mount this door to the car, it asks us to use QM screws. If you look back on my video, you'll see me using a QM screw. I've replaced them now with KM screws because they attach the door a lot better. And I will detail that for you tomorrow. But next week when that one comes up. But that's the door bolt on. Next thing I'm going to do is put the trim paddle on. This is what the trim paddle looks like here. Show you on the top camera there. Just like that. And what we're going to do, it can only go on one way, but you want to make sure it's flush to the side of the door. So when we put that in, the edges, as you can see, are going to be exactly the same on each side. And once again, these are going to be put in with JP screws. So we're opening everything up just to get these little bad boys in. Now the JP screws have got little tiny sort of like collars on them. So I don't quite know why that would be needed on this one. But there you go. It's because the way it's attached. We're going to be putting in 3 of these. Actually, we're going to be putting in, it says 4 of these. Yeah, I'll have my thumb over one. I'm going to put 4 of these screws in. As you can see, you've got 4 screw holes there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get these in. Now, I have seen, see, this is the advantage of having people having a couple of issues ahead of me. Because I have seen some people with the holes in the metal door completely not drilled right. They're off-centre. So you've got this lovely trim running along, and they've got a hole just in the metal above. If you have got that, then you need to go and take it back. Get one that doesn't look like that. But I am aware of it. I have seen it. So if you have been hurt by that, or you've been hit by that, then I am fully aware of that problem. So I'm surprised that sort of thing does get through the manufacturing, actually. I'm sure they must have a test division that just checks the random pieces to make sure that doesn't happen. But there we go. That was steps 3 and 4 done. They've been attached. The next thing we're going to do is put down a cloth, because people are saying, oh, that metal door on the hard mat, you don't want that. So let's put a cloth down. Because next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the little black tabs in the top, which will eventually make this attached to the vehicle. The little black tabs are these things here. So we've got one, just like that. And we've got the second one, whoops, just like that. And they're going to go in, they can only go in one way. Basically, they're going to slot in, just making sure I am putting it in the right way, yeah. They're going to be slotted in just like, whoops, that. You've got a little tab for it to sit in anyway. But that tab's going to sit in the recess just like that. So that's how they're going to go in. They're going to be secured with AM screws. So once again, I'm opening another pack of stuff up. Because it seems like this issue has every single screw known to man in it. So we'll get the first one in. Lovely. And once that one's in, which is perfect, we're going to get the second one in. Let's put that to where it goes there. And we'll get another AM, is it? I keep forgetting the name of the screws on that, forgetful. I'm like a goldfish. Yeah, it's an AM screw. Okay, and then we'll put this last one in here. Just like that. And then that was step 5 done. Okay, so step 6, we're going to be taking the window section that we got in the last issue, and we're going to be attaching that to the vehicle. It can only go in one way, and it's going to go slip in just like this. So it's going to fit perfectly just above those sections there. And they're going to be bolted in with NM screws once this is sitting perfectly, which it is there. So the NM screws is the only pack I haven't opened so far. So we'll get those in now. So I mean, we are using every screw known to man. I am trying to keep them in some sort of separate order on the desk here, because I don't want to mix them all up. But let's put the first one in. I did panic a little bit then, because I didn't think I had the window, but then I remembered it doesn't come in this issue. It comes in the last issue. So that's the first one in, and then we'll put the second one in. Now, that's both screws in. Now, I've got a problem which I didn't have in the last issue, which I'm just checking now, actually. And that is that I've got, when you put that in, you do have a little gap in the window there. And obviously, you need something to pin that down to stop that moving. And that's what this bit plate is going to be used for afterwards. We'll have a plate in there which will push that window completely closed. So don't worry if you have got a little gap in the edge there, just so you know about that. Okay, as a postscript, before I started editing this video and showing you the end of it, I thought I'd have a quick tackle of why that window was sticking out. It turns out the door was warped, and that's what was stopping it. When I put it against the car there, it didn't fit at all. It was really off-centre and stuff like that. So I bent this into shape, and I've done a pretty good job at it. But that was causing, if you can see there, scratching in the window because the metal is slightly bent around this section here. Now I've done this so that it now fits onto the car, and I can show you the video, but I've ordered another one of these issues because check if that window's not fitting flush to that metal, you've got a warped metal door and you're going to have to bend it or get another issue. That's not a good thing, but I'm glad I found it now then before I attach the door on the next video, because that's going to cause some major problems. That was step 6 done. Now we're just going to put that to one side because we're going to be building the little wing mirror here. Just got this triangle section just like this, and we've got the wing mirror like that. All we're going to do is put this bit over the top just like that, and we're going to be putting a JP screw in just there, which I've already loaded up on my screwdriver there. So we get that in, and once it's in and it's in tight, you've got the wing mirror all ready to go on the car. And the advantage with that is it enables you to, as you can see, move the wing mirror. It's just like a normal car, really. Once we've done that, we're going to be putting the actual mirror section in, and that's just going to go in. It can only go in one way. The same shape of this is going to go into the same shape as that, just into there, which means we need to take off the protective backing here. That was easier than I thought it would be. That's normally a nightmare. Get this in, and then I'm going to give it a nice little polish to push it down. And there we go. That is the mirror on. So that's the wing mirror done. That was step 8. Step 9 now, we're going to be mounting that to the car. And this can only go in one place. As you can see, you've got the triangle section here, and that's just going to fit in there. And it's going to be held in by one screw, which is an AP screw. The AP screws that I had all the way over this far side here. So we get one of them in. It is quite interesting having to do the same thing again. Because you get to see if you're any quicker at it, I guess, from the last time you did it. Okay, I'm just trying to hold this in because it's got to be in quite tight because there we go. And there we go, that's the wing mirror on. As you can see, the wing mirror does move. Not that you want to move it, but there we go, we got the wing mirror on. That was step 10 done. Now, step 11, we're going to be attaching the inside frame that we made here to the outside frame that we got here. We don't want the window falling out, so we're going to have to hold that in, and obviously we want to make sure that this wire here is coming out the top again. So when we put this in, it's going to fit just in like, whoops, I'm going to help you out here. There's a little track around here and here which helps you line this up. So probably best to put the bottom in first and worry about lining the cable up afterwards. And there we go, that fits flush there. And as you can see, the window will still open and close, but I'm not actually at that stage yet, because the next thing we've got to do is, once that's on, is we've got to secure these with DM screws. This is the only pack that we haven't opened yet. And DM screws, we've got 4 of these to put on. So let's get them in now. First one's in here. Now they don't go in actually completely 90 degrees. They are at an angle. So bear with me while we screw these in. That's the first one in. I'm going to use a different screwdriver for this one, I believe, because they do need a little bit of force. So I've got a screwdriver for that. That will give me lots of force, as you can see. And that puts it in nice and tight. If you feel that they are tough going in, then the best thing to do is to give it some really tough tight. Be really forceful on it. Otherwise you're going to round the heads. But that's those 4 screws in. As you can see, we've got this coming out the top here. The next thing I'm going to be doing is we're going to be putting on what do they call this? The door handle, the door trim, I suppose. It can only go in one way again because you've got a pin here and a hole there. And that just corresponds with what we got on here. So that's just going to sit in just like this on this side when it decides it wants to go in. There we go. And this is just going to be held in by an AP screw as well. So let's get the AP screw in for that. So we just put the AP screw in just through all of that here. It goes through that little hole just in the centre there. We give that a good old screw in. And then guess what? That is the completed door, as you can see. Pretty cool. Nice and heavy. That's another issue done. That was issue 73. Now it shows us what's coming in issue 74. As you can see, we're going to be attaching that door to the vehicle as well, using the hydraulic arm that doesn't keep anything up. And I have found out hundreds and hundreds of people texting me and commenting on my things that the little black block we got is to keep the doors open. Bit of an antiquated solution, but I suppose it works. There you go. But yeah, you have to let me know if anyone else has had the problem with that window there, just coming out a little bit. I know it's going to get pushed in by the plate, but that's not the point because my first door didn't do that. So a bit confusing, that one. And I did check to make sure it was seated properly. So that could be an issue that you have. But I find these problems so you don't have to. Anyway, hope you like that video. Take care.